Antes de mais nada, muito obrigado, Mr. Hugo Gagioni and Mr. José Benaim. Thank you very much for your cooperation to be here with us. A todos que estão assistindo de casa, eu sou Raimundo Lima, sou o diretor de tecnologia e operações do SBT e sou da diretoria da Sete também. Vou fazer uma rápida introdução aqui em português. Depois os nossos convidados falarão em inglês. Faço a apresentação em inglês para eles. Para quem quiser acompanhar aí na plataforma, lá embaixo na plataforma tem o Closed Caption, que traduz o que está de português para inglês e vice-versa, para quem quiser acompanhar, se sentir mais confortável. Antes da gente começar, dar só uma dinâmica aqui, como vai ser a dinâmica, vou dar algumas dicas como vão ser a dinâmica do nosso painel, fazer uma pequena introdução em português, depois o painel será conduzido em inglês. Para quem quiser fazer perguntas, pode fazer pergunta em português, lá embaixo, ou pode fazer em inglês, fiquem à vontade. Primeiramente vai falar o Hugo. Após a apresentação do Hugo, a gente vai abrir rapidamente para algumas perguntas. Na sequência, o senhor José Fresco fala do outro lado, também a gente conduz algumas perguntas a ele. E no final de tudo, se sobrar mais tempo, a gente volta com as perguntas, né, que vocês estão acompanhando. E o que não der para a gente responder aqui ao vivo, as perguntas serão endereçadas a eles e eles poderão responder diretamente para vocês, ok? Então, vamos seguir dessa forma. Bem, antes de ler aqui a introdução do nosso painel, eu queria agradecer aqui a Sete, especialmente a direção da Sete, o Carlos Fini, o Olímpio, com o apoio lá da Duana, da Carla, do Daniel e todo o staff que se encontra por trás da organização desses seminários, pela agilidade que eles tiveram ao ser cancelado o 7h30 lá na NAB, de ter estabelecido essa forma de transportar assuntos que a gente iria debater no 7h30 para cá, e está dando muito certo, tem sido muito legal. Bem, esse painel pretende debater a produção com qualidade, eficiência e agilidade e custos benefícios. Tanto os segmentos da produção de jornalismo, de produção de conteúdo para jornalismo, entretenimento, dramaturgia e esporte, sempre estiveram em busca de melhor eficiência com menores custos, obviamente. E a indústria também sempre teve a disposição e a procura de introduzir novas tecnologias que fossem ao encontro desse desafio para a nossa indústria. De repente, a gente foi atropelado com essa pandemia, né? Era algo imprevisível, ninguém sabia disso, mas, como sempre, a gente tem que tirar proveito, inclusive, dos momentos difíceis. Nesses momentos difíceis, a gente descobriu muitas outras coisas que a gente poderia estar fazendo de forma eficiente e confortável, como esse painel, né? Esse painel, esse e outros painéis dessa série foram imaginados, estão sendo conduzidos dessa forma em virtude de uma falta de tempo ou de dificuldades que nós tivemos em outro setor. E está funcionando muito bem, né? Você pegar, por exemplo, o fenômeno das lives, não é um fenômeno só que pegou muito bem aqui no Brasil, no mundo inteiro. Inclusive, boa parte das lives não estão sendo ao vivo, estão sendo gravadas. Mas é uma coisa que está incorporado tanto no mundo broadcast como em outras plataformas. Esse foi um fenômeno, por exemplo, que conseguiu unir e passar por todas as plataformas de um momento simultâneo, ou cada uma explorando o seu lado mais forte em determinados momentos. Então, como já falei, a Sete foi muito feliz em trazer esse lado muito rápido da nossa apresentação. Bem, vamos partir aqui para os nossos convidados. So we're going to start that series talking with Mr. Gaggioni. Mr. Gaggioni is the Chief Technology Officer for Sony Professional Solutions of Americas. Before Mr. Gaggioni start, I know he doesn't like we talk about this, but I think we have obligation to recognize last year, or was in the beginning of this year, Mr. Gaggioni was awarded with the Jenkins Lifetime Achievement Award for his significant contribution for the television technology and engineer. That Emmy was very important, and I know Mr. Gaggioni doesn't like we talk a lot about this, but we have to recognize about that. Congratulations, Mr. Gaggioni, and I hope you still contribute with your brilliant ideas for our industry. Okay, thank you very much, and congratulations one more time. So, Mr. Gaggioni, you talk about the new developments from Sony about SR Live for HDR live production. In that quarantine, so I think is a phenomenon all over the world. We have to rerun many shows we have at the TV stations for sports, dramaturgy, entertainment, and we discover not many of our good materials are in good condition of a picture looks, even with audio looks. So it is very important for the present you capture audio and video in the better high quality and care we can capture, because you never know when you have to rerun those materials. And I would like to hear from you any consideration about this theme.
I mean, your point is actually validating what Sony is promoting now. We need to make sure that there is a way for the material that we capture today in the form of metadata that will characterize the conditions of shooting, the settings of the camera, so that in the future, maybe you finalize your material, 10 years from now, somebody wants to repurpose that material, wants to go back to the raw material and create a new program, but you need to know the conditions of settings, artistic intent, and shooting condition. And this is, we hope, is now captured with this SR Live metadata packet.
Thank you very much. And if at the end when we finish, if you have more time, we can address more questions. Thank you.
Thank you.
Now, let's go to Mr. Josie Fresco Benin. Mr. Fresco, thank you very much for your participation, and thanks for Verizon. You are welcome to our seminar. So, to introduce Mr. Josie, he has an extensive experience with digital video technology, media production workflows, global deployment, and software design, with international emphasis in Israel, Europe, and US and UK. So, and he's gonna talk about a little bit about that Verizon technology, and also he has to talk with us a little bit about the high quality distribution of technology and the experience they have with the last Super Bowl in the United States. Please, thank you very much, and that's your time, Mr. Josie.
Thank you so much. Pleasure to be here. Thank you, Hugo. A real honor to share the stage with you. So here we are. I'm calling you from Los Angeles, already on my 6th week of lockdown, working remotely like all of you, and really proud to be part of this company. I mean, this company, Verizon, our motto is we create the networks that move the world forward. And in these times in which we are all working from home, network becomes essential, and it's an essential service. So I'm going to talk a little bit about our company before I move on into some more of the technical details. We basically believe that in order to create a foundation for the future, because look, what is Hugo talked about, all about the tremendous amount of effort and technology and investment that is made to create a really good quality image that we can all enjoy, either watching sports or drama, television shows. But at the end of the day, that quality needs to be delivered to someone to watch it. And we have to maintain the continuity of that quality so that we can enjoy all of the efforts made by the industry to create a really good quality user experience. That's, at the end of the day, what counts. All of those technologies that Hugo and everybody in this group is working on, it's all to deliver a really good, high quality experience to the end user. So what does Verizon? Because maybe you don't know much about Verizon, so I'm gonna take a couple of minutes. Verizon, we deliver billions of daily digital experiences across the board. And we do this around the world. We have a really large network that we have deployed, more than 100 terabits per second. I don't know if that means anything to you, but basically enough capacity to sustain the kind of way that we are delivering content today. And we do this at a pretty large scale. When we are talking about scale, I mean, if you look at the traditional way of television was basically broadcast to the masses, right? One signal, everybody gets the same, but now we are moving into a world in which we are delivering content specifically to each user, to each device. And we have to deliver this at a scale, not a couple of thousand people. We're talking about millions of people coming together to watch an event, for example, in particular in live events. And we have to be able to scale to do that. And we deliver that at that kind of scale. For example, just to give you some numbers, let's look at the video streams, 2.6 billion streams each month delivered. If you look at the history of these technologies, about 5 years ago, we were talking about hundreds of millions of hours of video delivered to consumers through devices, connected TVs, mobile devices, tablets, computers. Today, we are delivering billions of hours. That is a incredible growth in the way that we are consuming content these days. And not only we have to do this at scale, we have to also do it securely. And that's part of what my company does as well. So, oops, I don't know what happened here. So what is the Verizon Media Platform, the one that I'm talking about? Basically, we provide all of the infrastructure and the technology and the tools to deliver streaming, video, delivering that content and doing it securely. And you need to have all of the different elements to be able to accomplish that. So talking about how do we consume content. So look at the numbers. The numbers are staggering. We have, by 2030, we're going to have 125 billion devices connected to the network. The average time that people are going to be spending watching video online is about, I mean, those numbers mean a lot, but look at your own consumption patterns. If I was actually thinking this morning about the way I'm consuming television today, right, or consuming content today. 90% of what I'm consuming is not from my cable provider. It's through my connected TV, through my Netflix, my Sling, my YouTube, all of those HBO, and so on and so forth, delivering content directly to me through my internet connection. And that is very much the way that we're going to be consuming this amazing HDR content that is being captured these days. You're going to, more likely than not, watch that content on a connected TV or on your laptop or on your tablet. That's where you're going to be seeing it. And who delivers that content? Companies like ours that are producing and deploying the networks and the infrastructure to deliver that kind of content. So I was thinking this morning, and again, having a veteran in the industry here in the panel today, it's kind of pretty amazing. But I was looking this morning about the history of television. It was invented in 1920s by a Scottish guy. Television was first invented. Then in 1930, there was a Marconi TV set that only the rich people could use it. In the 50s, color TV was launched. By 1960, I think it was the remote control invented. Our first interactive thing with the media, a clicker. In the 90s, by the 90s, 60% of the population in the US had a cable connection. If you look at HD was developed, or I think about 20 years ago. The first HD kind of display by Samsung about 8-9 years ago, I think. Look at the acceleration of technology. Now we are talking about this amazing process that Sony is developing to ensure through the entire pipeline of video, you maintain the quality intended. It's incredible how technology is moving. And again, more and more, we are going to be consuming that content on a connected device. And that is where a company like ours is making efforts to make sure that that quality can be delivered. Why? Because we need to attract viewers and also retain those viewers. And that's a part of the raison d'etre of Verizon Media. So what people want today, they want TV quality in every device. And I tell you, the same way that Sony is spending so much effort in developing really even custom-made chips to ensure the quality of that content being captured, similar efforts in technology have been developed to ensure that the delivery of that content can be delivered at quality and at scale. I don't know how we're doing with time. I think I've got a couple more minutes. I'm going to get into, just tell you a little bit about the Super Bowl. This was the first time ever that we could deliver UHD, high dynamic range streams, first time ever, directly through the network, through consumers. We had, I think that 60% of all of the people watching the Super Bowl were through our platform, we're doing it on connected devices, on connected TVs, actually, in connected TVs. This is different than in Latin America. In Latin America, we don't have that mass penetration of smart TVs and connected TVs. People watch a lot of content on their mobile devices, tablets, and desktops. But in the US in particular, as we were kind of monitoring the consumption of this content, it was done basically mostly to connected devices. We had 11 million, actually the capacity of our network today is for 11 million concurrent viewers, 11 million people watching now. What does it mean? You have to create, this is not broadcast in which you're broadcasting one signal to everybody. This is you're creating a manifest to each individual device, each individual user, delivering that content specifically to that customer. That includes all the aspect of monetization. We have a technology called Smart Play that enables you to do server-side ad insertion specifically to that consumer. So you're getting the best quality possible, 4K, HDR, Ultra HD, beautiful sports, and you are getting, when there is time for ads, that in Super Bowl there is a lot of ads, you are getting the ads that they are targeted to you, specifically to you. in addition to that, you have to be able to do all of the work to decide where to send that content. How do you manage a massive network, and how do you deliver the content and make use of the best optimal way to deliver the content to consumers? And how do we did that? We basically, we encoded the content at 20 megabits per second. We use B-frames, we had 2pass, all this in real time, in live. And that was a first ever in the industry. I remember we hearing from the guys from Fox calling us the day after the event, just saying that they never had an experience like this, to be able to deliver for the first time 4K HDR to their consumers through our platform, and also with a very, very small, less than, I think it was 0.2% buffering rate. I mean, you know what buffering is, right? The thing that actually kills the user experience. So I think that I'm close to, I had a lot of slides talking about the technology. I'm sure that we will have opportunities, if any of you are interested, to follow up with us, in which we can share how we are doing this, and hopefully help you deliver those high quality experience to your consumers, to the end consumers, with the help of all of what we have built. So I'll leave it there, Raimundo, and if there are any questions, I'll happy to take them.
Oh, thank you very much, Mr. Joseph. Oh, I'm very impressed with those numbers. Yeah, it's very fantastic. I would like to do, let me address one question that Marcelo Martins just sent to us. He's asking, Verizon Media is a kind of OTT system. Can you explain to them?
Yes, it is. OTT is it's an acronym for over the top television. Yes, we provide a platform, a video platform that is designed for video on demand, for live linear, for live events. We have all of the instrumentation, all of the tools that you will find in a broadcast center, right? But for over the top, for all the digital delivery of content through the internet, right? So it is designed for broadcasters, content owners, publishers that want to take the content created by devices and cameras and acquisition like a Sony, goes to the production process and then needs to be delivered. And we take it from there, from the moment that is the final, the director's cut, whatever you're feeding out, be that live linear, be that you're kind of encoding to save your content as a mezzanine for future use, for video on demand. We take that content, we process it all in the cloud, super easy to deploy. We take care of all of the heavy lifting of the technology. Just give us your signal or give us your mezzanine file at the highest quality that you have, and we'll deliver it with the same intent, quality at scale. Yes, we are an OTT, provide OTT services for VOD, live linear, and live events.
Okay, Mr. Marcelo Martins, I say thanks for the explanation. Was very clear to him. I have another question. For us, producer and broadcasters, at the same time, like we are, I cut one phrase on your presentation. It says, to attract and retain viewers. That's the point for all of us. The success of your transmission for the Super Bowl transmission in the United States, I think right now going to be very difficult. We have the same experience here in Brazil because of the infrastructure for the telecommunication.
Well, but that is interesting because companies in Brazil, in Latin America, that's the region I work on, they're becoming aware that to stay relevant is not enough just to have your signal on the satellite or on your free to air TV or on your cable. That's not enough. You have to deliver personalized experience to the consumers at high quality. So they are realizing, I'm company X, I'm not going to make any names, but I'm company X. I'm very successful. I've been in broadcast for, I don't know, 30 years, 40, 50 years. My capacity, my network, whatever I've deployed to deliver my video through the internet, I need more. I need a partner. I need to work. I need to expand. I need to work with multiple providers to give me the capacity I need. So I see a tremendous trend, both in Mexico, in Brazil, in Colombia, in Argentina, in which companies are realizing I need to partner with a network provider, with the platform provider that can give me that capacity that I don't have today. I'm not talking about the last mile. Last mile is always an issue.
Right.
But yes, we will deliver the best quality possible depending on the last mile capabilities that consumer will have. If it's on a 3G connection, we'll give you the best experience you can expect at 3G. If you have a 4G, will be 4G. If you're connected to Wi-Fi, the best we can deliver, the best quality possible. That's what is called the manifest manipulation, the one-to-one. We create a special streaming just for each individual, according to the conditions of the network, the quality of the connection, and so on.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Gajon, I have a question for you. Vinicio was asking, I don't know if you can answer that, but he asked, which editing application support SAR live metadatas at the moment?
Yeah, I saw that question. Currently, Sony's Catalyst Prepare, which is a readily available editing and asset management application, can handle it. It's available. But we also we are talking to Avid and Adobe Premiere. There's very strong interest from them to support this application, this SLI metadata processing.
Okay, thank you. And for Mr. Josie, Sergio de Santoro is asking, please, could you tell us what is the codec used by Verizon? Your microphone, you have to open.
Yeah. So basically, when we take your signal, we first encode it to the highest quality possible. Sorry, to the highest quality you will eventually deliver. Let's say that you are delivering a 4K event. We will take that signal, encode it, pre-encoded first on the capture device at the same kind of bit rate. Then we send it to the cloud, and in the cloud we create all of the renditions necessary to provide multiple bit rates. But basically we are using both HLS and Dash, the two protocols for streaming. We are using basically it's an MPEG-4 kind of type of encoding at the core with different wrappers for the delivery of content. So HLS, Dash, and at the core is MPEG-4. Yeah.
Okay, guys.
Can I make some comments?
Of course.
And Josie?
Of course.
You see, one of the difficulties that we are all going through is, remember, when we are doing the production, Sony did the production for Fox in terms of cameras and
yes, I know.
4K 60 frames per second is 12 gigabits per second, which no one has that capability in our homes. Yeah. Then in Japan and in China and in Korea, they are using around 30 to 40 megabits compression using HEVC compression for distribution.
We're using 20. We are doing 20 for Fox. We did 20 megabits per second.
That is marginal. Even 20 megabits is so-so. For movies, 24 frames per second is okay. But for live production, 60 hertz material, you probably need a little bit more than 20. Yeah. But anyway, let's assume it's 20 megabits. Yes. Not everybody has 20 megabits. Very, very few.
No, of course not. But the thing is, on the connected TVs, this is a great conversation because what we are trying to do with Fox is to do the best possible way to deliver HD, high dynamic range to connected TVs. And I think that the number, I think there was 600,000 people concurrent for that kind of level of quality. And we had to find the right way in which could deliver that experience to those consumers in the US, right? So that was the constraint, if you wish. Of course, give us more, we can do more.
Yeah. Another issue that is some people say, well, we're going to distribute 4K, but in reality, broadcasters, they say, well, we're going to distribute 1080p 60. We can capture 4K, but most people are now moving to 1080p 60, which you can send very good quality, about 7-8 megabit, and you let the TV set. The TV set will do the upscaling.
Yeah.
That's another way to do it.
Yeah. We did both. We were doing the 4K, and also we were doing 1080p at 60. And that was the majority, I think 2.2 million concurrent. Most of them were consuming the 1080p 60.
Okay.
But the ability to deliver both, that was a first. And I mean, there is a lot of space there to continue innovating, but great. I mean, that was, I think, a great partnership there with Fox, both from your side and from ours. And we should continue helping those customers deliver the best quality experience to their consumers.
Okay, guys.
Thank you, Raimundo.
Now, let's go for one last question. I think it's very important. Roberto Hoffman Neto is asking, I think, for Mr. Josie, how much Verizon had spin up new infrastructure just for the Super Bowl? Yeah, if you compare to the regular everyday streaming network.
Well, infrastructure-wise, I think that we didn't have to do much because we build our network always with a lot of headroom because we have to take care of peaks, and there's sometimes these flash events like the beginning of the Super Bowl or at the last few minutes. There is a huge amount of people coming at the same time. What we did was a huge amount of work across the entire ecosystem within Verizon Media and Fox to make sure that we had the operational muscle to actually pull this off. It was more a human effort more than capacity. Capacity is there. What we needed is a huge amount of coordination from the not only on the venues, but the entire process, the war rooms, the people monitoring at the back, the network traffic people. It was a huge effort from many people, but the capacity was already there.
Okay, guys. People still send some questions, but because of the time, we are sending those questions, and you can reply to direct to them. Okay.
Yes, Sergio is asking some questions. I can answer them if you share our emails with the participants. I'll be more than happy to answer all the questions.
All right, and just register Mr. Sergio Loebel. He make no question, but just say congratulations for both of you because was excellent explanation. So just for you close with a final thought, 1 minute for Mr. Gagione and 1 minute for Mr. Jones, just for you close the panel.
Well, keep pushing the technology, keep pushing the vision to continue delivering the highest picture quality to the end user. HD is not the end road. 4K is not the end road. It's just a long road ahead of us, and we have to continue pushing that technology.
Josie?
Yes, I will take that, but just to answer the question from Claudia, asking about, looks like there is a big gap between the technology for acquisition and the technology for streaming. When are they going to match? I think that will never match. We'll always be a little bit behind. But we need the quality and we need the effort of companies like Sony to really, garbage in, garbage out, right? If you get really good quality content, we will continue making efforts to fill the gap and provide, 4K, HDR, Dolby, 5.1, you name it. Then 8K is coming. There is a ton of space ahead of us. We'll have to always continue working in the industry to deliver the right experience.
So guys, thank you very much. I want to remember everyone involved for those of you and for all the audience, our Set Expo, who is a very traditional event we have every year in August, but because of that pandemic time, we're going to transfer for December. And I would love to keep those debate and conversation with Mr. Josie and Hugo, if it is that possible. It's going to be a pleasure for me and for all the guys from SET. Thank you very much for those events. Thank you very much for everybody. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Raimundo. Thank you, everybody. Hugo, pleasure meeting you.
Thank you, Jose. Nice to meet you. Thank you, Raimundo. Thank you for all the effort. Bye.
Thank you, guys.